It's a lot better than losing. It's a lot better than tying. And I think that the boys did well. I think they worked hard. I think they put in a solid effort. I think the first half we should have come in 1-0 up. It was a mystery decision and a mystery corner that led to a goal, and those are the things that we've been dealing with all year. But it's a lot easier to talk about that when you win. But I think that the group effort tonight, you can see the camaraderie within the group. You can see that what it meant to them to win this game. And I think it's good for the organisation and it repays the fans for some of the pain that they've gone through.
In terms of the team being able to respond to that goal at the end of the first half, and also be able to hold the lead, we'll talk about the mental aspect of that psychological.
I think we have been maturing as a group. I think you start to look at some of the road performances. I think you're looking at that Toronto game, we're unlucky not to get a PK and maybe come away with 3 points. The New York game, we created a lot of chances. We should have put that game away at the start of the second half. I think as a group we're starting to mature, we're starting to take responsibility for what we're doing. And I think that's a positive. I think the guys have responded very, very well. I think when you start to look at the way in which we're playing, trying to keep the ball, trying to move it, trying to create chances and dominate games, I think getting a win like tonight solidifies what we've been trying to do, and it's been a lot of work to get to this stage.
What does it mean to you that you're now in a very good position in terms of the Cascadia Cup?
I think the Cascadia Cup is something that we've got to focus on, to be honest, and every game in the league is very, very important. But I think the Cascadia Cup is extremely important to our fan base, extremely important to the organisation, and the players understand that. They get the rivalries. So, there's a lot of games left though. And for us to be in this position, I think we're going to take each game as it comes, but it's something that's very important to us, and it's something that we will put a lot of effort into.
Can you talk about Darlington Nagbe's play in the last few games?
I think the last 3 games he has been outstanding, absolutely outstanding. I think he's finding the ball, he's finding space. Tremendous player. I think when we talk about a young team that's starting to mature, I think he epitomises what I'm talking about. And he's had a lot of distraction as well in the last 36 hours. I think they're doing a whole a TV program about him. So his personal life has been invaded an awful lot, and for him to have the maturity to deal with that, come out and perform the way he did, is tremendous for him. I think he is a talent, and it's our job to keep developing him and keep giving him the opportunity to succeed. But I think where he's playing in our group and the system that we're playing brings out the best in him.
Is there anything that sparked him?
Darlington himself, I think. Understanding how good he is and trying to make the most of it. He's somebody that by the end of the year I'd like to see on 11 goals. And he's capable of that. When you see him in training, he is a rare talent. His center of gravity is extremely, low center of gravity. He changes direction. He's got a quick burst of speed. He's tremendous touch. And even though he scored again, we still want to work on his finishing. So, there's some things for him to improve on. But when a person is as nice as he is, you want him to do as well as he has.
How big was Stephen's best save?
Stephen was huge. I think the first save off that, though, was tremendous. I don't know what you feel about that, but tremendous. And Stephen, I think Stephen, that's his fourth game in a row where I think he's done very, very well. And we've had a lot of consistent performances. It's very easy to put the same players out there when they're doing well.
DK, has he solidified himself in the starting 11?
I think he put in another good performance. He was unlucky not to score, but we've got Chris Boyd, who's a very talented player. So with Bryant DK, I still say he's a young player when it comes to games, when it comes to MLS experience. And you've got Chris Boyd, who's a very talented individual. You've got Danny Mwanga, but the system that we're playing at the moment only allows for one up top. So the best player will get to start, and the best player is the one that performs the game before and also puts the effort in training.
Gavin,
so that's the best I can answer that. Sorry.
Gavin, as happy as you are, when you look at that goal, is that a sense of a lack of maturity, even though you dispute the corner kick, the fact that you guys sort of had a mental lapse after that disappointment and allowed them to score?
Yeah. I would say no. I think we showed maturity because when you get scored on in the last 5 minutes in the first half, it's hard to basically get the locker room back very, very quickly, get them focused on the second half. And I think it's a positive to see the maturity in the group to actually climb back into the game in the second half. So if I was to take that isolated moment, yes. But if I was to look at the game, I'd say no.
Right.
What did you tell them at halftime?
it was more about psychological than tactical. We thought that they would bring Maddox on up top. We addressed that very, very quickly. We also felt that they were changing the way that they were defending, with Roche playing a little bit tighter to Salzizo and Waipili playing a little bit tighter. So we're asking for Bright to find the channels a little bit more, see if we could find him and play off him. But as far as that, most of it was mental, basically making sure that they knew they were good enough to go out and win it. And we're getting a lot more participation from the players in the locker room as well, which is a positive.
What do you think of Eric Alexander's influence in place of Chara?
I thought he was very, very good. I think he tired a little bit at the end of the game, but we have to do a better job of keeping him match fit. So when we do need him for 90 minutes, he can contribute. But he takes tremendous care of the ball. He's a very smooth player, technically tremendous. I don't know what you think, but I think he's a very, very smooth player. And I've said for a while that we've got a lot of young players that have ability. Now it's a matter of maybe the losses that we've gone through, the tough times, they start to mature a little bit more. They start to realise what is needed to excel.
Last one, please.
Gavin, do you feel like you've gotten closer to a starting 11? It's been a while. 3/4 of the season are you inching closer to a permanent starting 11?
I would say yes, but I would also say the performances of an Eric Alexander keep you honest, keep you very, very honest, because now he's come in and he's done well, and you want to reward players for good performances. But the player that wasn't available tonight, Diego Chara, is also a very good, talented player. So I would say that I think if you start to look at our lineup, there hasn't been a lot of changes. And what I would say is we're starting to give a value to having a starting position, and now you have to earn that. So Eric Alexander did a tremendous job tonight. So we have a difficult decision, which coaches, I think, generally want difficult decisions.
Thanks, everyone. Locker room.